Toastmasters, it has to be said that evaluation becomes a more frequent part of your life. But we all want to improve, and we all want to be told what we're doing well. And also, I guess we also want some constructive criticism. So how do we manage all of that package to give it to other people so that they can also improve themselves, improve the experience of life, and just generally improve themselves? So this is what Evaluate to Motivate is all about. So the more effective we are at evaluating ourselves, the more we get out of the experience. Evaluators improve their listening and thinking skills. Speakers become more effective at how they speak. And even audience members will gain from hearing evaluations. So, as speakers, evaluations benefit them by providing immediate feedback. Once you give the speech, your evaluator is there to tell you exactly how they felt you met the objectives of the speech and what they thought you could do next time in order to improve. Supportive commentary and helpful suggestions reinforce all of the good things that have been found in your speech. So, the evaluator offers their perspective on how well you did. You may know what you said and what you wanted to convey, but you don't know how the audience took that information in, how it made them feel. So this is what the role of the evaluator is, to provide some feedback to you for that. And evaluations are helpful to build and maintain your self-esteem, because we all like to hear positive things that we did as well. And hearing positive things also means that the next time we'll try to repeat those certain successes. The evaluation style that we use is called the tell and sell, when the evaluator talks and the speaker listens. So the evaluator will stand up and provide an oral evaluation, and the speaker just has to take it in and try to figure out how in the future they would use the information. So, how to evaluate effectively? Before the speech, the evaluator should talk to the speaker about the manual objectives. Now at this point I will pause, and for our guests, when you join Toastmasters, you get a competent communicator manual with 10 speaking projects. And each project has you work through a particular skill, like organizing your speech, vocal variety, gestures, etc. So there are some objectives, a few objectives usually at the beginning of each speech, which you are supposed to be meeting by giving this speech. So the evaluator should talk to you about things that your understanding of how these objectives might show themselves out. And also, the evaluator should look at the evaluation guidelines. So there's a set of questions at the end of each speaking project, which the evaluator will answer and use as a basis for their oral evaluation. So they should ask the speaker, is there anything that you're trying to fix? Are you working on a nervous gesture that you make every time? Or are you umming and erring excessively, etc., etc.? And any other concerns, any other concerns that the speaker might have about the speech. For example, if they're afraid that they're not speaking loudly enough, or things of that matter. Usually the speaker knows where they want to make an improvement, So if the evaluator asks them, they can elaborate more on that. So during the speech, show that you are interested, which means listen, jot down some notes which will help you during the evaluation to hit some of the key points that will be made by you. Mirror the speaker's feelings, and also I find that it's helpful to have like a column for things that you like, things that you think have potential, and a workable area that the speaker could improve on. So put yourself in the position of the speaker, basically, and take notes. So during evaluation, choose your words carefully. So what does that mean? Stay away from "you didn't," "good speakers do," "you should have." These are words that can make people feel quite defensive. Remember that you're only speaking for yourself, so try not to use words like "the audience was confused when," and other words that might imply that you're speaking for more than just your perspective. And of course, replace any "you" with "I," which makes things softer. Use words that describe your own reactions, like "I believe," "I suggest," "I liked when," "I was impressed with," "I was confused about." So you want to evaluate the speech, not the person. What that means also is that you want to evaluate the delivery of the speech. You might not agree with what they're saying at all, but that is not the point of the evaluation. The evaluation is how effective was that person in getting their view across. And of course, we want to promote their self-esteem because we want them to be zealous about giving further speeches. So the evaluator's mantra is, say what I saw, what I felt, what I heard. Did the opening capture your interest? Did the closing make you want to go out and do something? So we want to encourage speakers, so it always helps to end on a positive note. But we do have to strike that sweet spot between saying that everything was great about the speech and saying that everything was terrible about the speech. So I know that there have been times when I've received an evaluation and I've been curious about how to improve for the next time. And sometimes that hasn't been very clear to me as listening to the evaluation. So be specific about what might be helpful. Give some positive reinforcements. So in conclusion, some other tips for giving evaluations. So there's 2 minutes is usually the time for evaluations, which is not that much really when you stand up and speak. So there's this opening statement, which you should try to keep to 30 seconds, and it should tie your perspective to the speech. So how did the speech affect the audience? Does it remind you of a personal experience that you might have had in the past? Also, summarize your key points. Usually, you need only 3 points for things that you liked and 3 points of things that could have used some improvement. And give a personal story or example which you can work into your opening statement. And finally, encourage your listeners to apply what they heard and learned. So actually, in front of you, you'll have this ballot. And it says ballots and brief evaluations. And it has some spaces where you can write your evaluation or perspectives on how these speeches tonight made you feel. And everybody likes to hear points different perspectives about how things might have worked in the future or during the speech. So, Mr. Toastmaster?